Donald Trump, like many on the right, is super focused on you having kids. Whether by choice or against your will, he doesn't really care. He wants to get those birth rates up because some podcaster said that was important. Now, if you might think, okay, well, what's he gonna do to make that happen? Like make daycare affordable or whatever. No, forget about that. That would cost money. You'd have to raise tax on the rich. He's not interested in that. He's got a lot of ideas though, and they're very, very stupid. One of them is okay, but most of them are very, very stupid. So one proposal shared with AIDS would reserve 30% of scholarships for the Fulbright program, the prestigious government-backed international fellowship for applicants who are married or have children. So look, I guess I'm glad that he acknowledges that that program exists, not as a pretext to kill it. So this is better than him killing it, but what does it matter if they're married or have kids? What does that have to do with the research that they, like it doesn't have anything to do with it. Another would give a $5,000 cash baby bonus to every American mother after delivery. I'm not against something like that, I suppose. I don't understand why you kill the child tax credit and then you want to cash a check instead. I think it's because he wants to have his name on the check. Why not just have the child tax credit if you want to incentivize it financially? But whatever, I'm not even that against that. A third calls on the government to fund programs that educate women on their menstrual cycles, in part so they can better understand when they're ovulating and able to conceive. Okay, when Donald Trump is talking about doing that, that is the creepiest, Gileadiest BS I've ever heard. If they want to have a website or something, health.gov, that has that info, I'm not necessarily against that. Guarantee they're gonna be tracking your ovulation through whatever program they come up with, and that's where it gets to really creepy territory. Kim Sushi brings up what happened to the free IVF. That's a great way to help out some people who can't have kids already. But there's another idea beyond that. Simone Collins is an activist, I guess, who has this idea. So they sent the White House several draft executive orders, which is a thing that you can do if you're a right winger, I guess, including one that would bestow a National Medal of Motherhood to mothers with 6 or more children. From Ms. Collins, quote, "Look at the number of kids that major leaders in the administration have. You don't hear about kids in the same way under Biden. You guys demonized all of his kids. He had kids, you hated them. So a medal for having 6 kids. Does this not feel like a Soviet Russian thing or something? Like you've contributed more soldiers to the motherland, so we pin a medal on your chest and give you a bag with bread and cheese or something? Like, what a strange thing to do. And also, JR, we're, I think, both old enough to remember when they used to talk about some people that had large families, and they were not exactly happy about that. They were not fans at all about these large families. But what do you think about this?
And incentivizing these same destructive, horrible people in our society for having babies so they could get handouts from the government. Remember that? Remember those arguments? Because these welfare queens keep having babies because they know the government will give them money when they do. Now you're proposing giving someone $5,000 baby bonuses to have more children. I wonder which kind of people they think those would be. Also, by the way, think about delivery. Have the cost of having a baby if you don't have sufficient insurance. It's way more than $5,000. So you get your $5,000 bonus and you end up spending $20,000 on your child. They never go on the side of where you're spending money. They go to, we're gonna put it in your pocket. But they never talk about how much they're taking out of your pocket and giving right back to the folks who paid them for these ridiculous, stupid policies. And nothing is more same conservative folks to talk about victory and winning. Nothing like a participation trophy into having a child. You're gonna get a medal. You're gonna get a ribbon, a participation trophy for having a kid. 6 of them. I'm not sure if that's the one that's connected to 6 or not, but every time you have more children than anyone else, you win a medal. Good job. Now see how you're gonna pay for all of their health care, all their child care, all the food, diapers, and supplies that you're gonna need. Who cares? You got a medal. And these guys are stupid.
So strange. Just if people want to have kids, make it affordable for them. How about that? That's so literally simple. All anybody's asking for you is make it affordable. Don't make it mandatory. Don't force women to have kids. Like back off of that with your weird incel stuff, but make it affordable if they want to actually have a kid.
We should give corporations that have stuff like Similac that's locked up in cases because the stuff costs $55 in the store. Give them a medal if they lower the price.
Exactly. God, they're so weird. They're so weird. Anyway, with that said, let's just close with Elon Musk, who I guess would have 5 medals or something. In February, Doggy threatened a 7-year, $168 million NIH initiative to improve maternal health across the state of Michigan. It suspended more than $27 million in grants to women's health centers, laid off federal workers running programs for expecting mothers on Medicaid, and it's canceled $1.6 million in funding for maternal and postpartum care at the Morehouse School of Medicine in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, once they found out it was in Atlanta, Georgia, obviously they're gonna kill all those programs. Can't have that, but kind of mixed signals, like you should have kids. If you don't, you're terrible. Also, we're gonna make you if you get pregnant. You don't get to end that. And then all of the services that help people out, make them healthy, all that, we're killing that. We're killing all of that. So a little bit of mixed signals from them on fertility.